What's happening, everyone? Jason right here. Sarah's back with me. I want to talk about something I've been building out for clients and for our own brand, and that is custom AI assistants trained specifically on your business.
So we're talking about something beyond just opening up ChatGPT and asking it stuff.
A lot beyond that. When you use a generic AI tool with no customization, it doesn't know your voice, your clients, your offers, or your processes. It gives you average output because it's working from an average of everything. A custom assistant knows your world because you built it that way.
What does that setup actually look like?
You're feeding it a body of knowledge about your business, your brand voice, your frequently asked questions, your service details, your sales process, examples of your best content. Once it has that context baked in, every output it produces is anchored to your specific situation, not some generic version of what an answer might look like.
How complicated is it to set up?
It's gotten really accessible. Custom GPTs inside ChatGPT let you do a solid version of this without writing any code. You define the personality, upload documents, write instructions. It's more like filling out a setup form than building software.
What would a service business actually use this for day to day?
First response to new inquiries, answering repetitive questions that come in through a contact form or DM, drafting proposals or follow-up emails in your voice, internal stuff too, like SOPs for your team. Basically anything where the answer should sound like you, but takes you time to write every single time.
So you're creating a version of yourself that handles the repetitive communication work.
Your knowledge, your tone, your standards, available around the clock without you personally writing every word.
I want to push back slightly on one thing. Does it actually sound like the person, or does it still come out feeling a little off?
That depends entirely on how much you put into it. The more examples you give it, the better it gets. I've seen well-built custom assistants that genuinely surprise people with how close they sounded. And I've seen lazy setups that sound like a robot with a name. The effort you put in directly determines what you get out.
So it's not a set it and forget it situation right out of the gate.
Not at first. You're going to test it, catch the gaps, and feed it better information over time. But that refinement period is pretty short for most people. A few rounds of feedback and it gets dialed in quickly.
Most people probably have content they've already created that could fuel something like this.
Old emails, past proposals, a speaker bio, some blog posts, and even videos that have been transcribed back into text can work. Most people have more raw material than they realize, and that's enough to get started with something surprisingly capable.
You don't have to start from scratch. That's worth saying twice.
If you're listening to this podcast and you like what you hear, I have an offer that may be genuinely helpful for you. Head over to intentionallyinspirational.com, click on free resources in the top menu, and select the Intentional Growth Framework. It's a free resource that helps you identify exactly where your marketing and automation have room to improve and where AI can start doing more of the heavy lifting. No cost and no pitch, just a real conversation about where the opportunities are in your business. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, everyone.
See you in the next episode.
Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, stay curious.